Welcome to The Explainer. We've got a fascinating and honestly kind of chilling topic to unpack today. So picture this. You're scrolling through your feed on a lazy Sunday afternoon, right? You see this absolutely pristine, perfect vacation photo, or, maybe a really fun, super aesthetic cooking tutorial. It all looks totally normal. We just double tap, maybe leave a comment, and move on. But what if I told you that hidden, just out of frame, literally right behind some of these seemingly flawless posts, something absolutely terrifying was actually unfolding? Today, we're unpacking the dark reality behind the digital lens.
So we're looking at a serious clash here. Perfect posts versus terrifying reality. We're pulling back the digital curtain today. We're all so used to taking social media at face value. We just assume the smiles and the sunshine are the whole story. But as you're about to see, the digital footprint we leave behind can sometimes invite unimaginable nightmares right to our front door, or act as the literal, haunting final record of a fatal mistake. We're going to walk through 4 totally distinct cases that prove exactly why you can never entirely trust what you see online.
Case number 1, the fatal geotag, a Bali nightmare. Imagine you're on the ultimate bucket list dream vacation in Bali, staying in a gorgeous luxury villa. Well, that's exactly what a guy named Igor Komarov and his influencer girlfriend, Yeva Mishalova, were doing back in 2026.
Now, Yeva had a pretty big audience, about 200,000 followers, and she was really living that influencer illusion, posting updates of their incredible trip in real time, showing off exactly where they were, what they were eating, the whole shebang. So on Valentine's Day, she posts this super sweet, totally innocent photo with the caption you see here, "Love you every day." But tragically, that was the absolute last photo they would ever take together. Why? Well, because she was geotagging their exact real-time location.
It is honestly terrifying how fast a simple digital choice can spiral into a real-world catastrophe. Check this out. On Valentine's Day, that real-time geotag goes live to hundreds of thousands of literal strangers. Turns out, an international hit squad was actually watching, and they used that exact location data to track the couple down. Just the very next night, Igor was snatched right off his scooter in broad daylight. A few days later, this horrifying video surfaces on Telegram showing a badly bruised Igor begging his parents for a $10 million ransom. His family was completely paralyzed by the whole thing and stayed silent. And then, just a week later, fishermen found his remains scattered on the other side of the island. It's a chilling reminder, guys. When you broadcast your location in real time, you genuinely never know who is on the receiving end.
But look, danger doesn't always come from malicious strangers. Sometimes, the horror is just purely accidental. Let's move to case 2. One lethal mistake, the forager's trap. This brings us to the tragic story of Emma Amit. She was a wildly popular food vlogger out in the Philippines. Her entire brand was built on these wonderfully down-to-earth natural cooking videos. She'd go out, forage for seafood, and cook it right there on camera. And that day, she uploaded what looked like a perfect sequence of events. First, a really cheerful video of her gathering snails and crabs in this beautiful mangrove. Then, a few hours later, an update showing a delicious-looking seafood stew just boiling perfectly in rich coconut milk. It looked like just another textbook, highly successful day for her channel. But by that evening, the narrative took a completely dark turn when she fell lethally ill. Tragically, Emma actually didn't make it to the next day.
So, what happened? The absolutely crucial point here is what was actually lurking inside that seemingly perfect stew pot. It's called the devil crab. This thing is the single most poisonous crustacean in the entire Philippines. Unbeknownst to Emma and her friends, one of these little guys had somehow made its way into their catch. And what makes this so uniquely terrifying is that its lethal toxins literally cannot be cooked out by boiling. No amount of heat helps, and they are fatal even in the absolute tiniest of doses. It really just goes to show us that even seasoned, confident professionals can make one ignorant, fatal mistake that changes literally everything in a fraction of a second. Okay, have you ever stumbled across one of those really bizarre internet mysteries late at night? Let's look at case 3, the serial killer meme, fact versus fiction.
If you spend any time on TikTok, you've probably seen those incredibly creepy Zarzor memes featuring this wide-eyed, super unsettling face. Well, there's this wild crossover between viral fiction and actual history going on here. Online lore claims this Zarzor character is some sort of supernatural killer who sprints at 30 miles per hour. The reality? That face actually belongs to a guy named Abdul Aziz Farah, who is by all accounts a totally normal, nice guy who just kind of leans into the meme for a laugh. But here is where it gets deeply, deeply weird. There was a real-life monster,
Abdeli Hadi, who went on a horrific 4-year killing spree in Morocco back in 2000. And get this, he was notoriously known for wearing the exact same Adidas gear that the character in the TikTok memes wears. And he even left these taunting notes for the police to find. So we really have to ask ourselves, was this viral internet legend actually inspired by the real-life monster who rocked the same tracksuits? Or is this just a massive, incredibly dark coincidence? Either way, it's a rabbit hole that will for sure keep you up at night.
For our fourth and final case, we're looking at how people actively use social media to completely manipulate the truth. Case 4, Framing the Perfect Alibi, a Dark Reality. We are looking at a couple from Vietnam, Nguyen Tien Zen and Katie Lee Ha. To everyone on the outside, their neighbors, their friends, all their followers, they were the absolute dream couple. You know the type. They had the shiny new house, a beautiful baby, great steady jobs. But if we strip away that perfect facade, their reality was absolutely anything but a dream. Behind closed doors, a massive, explosive argument broke out over money. The dispute escalated violently to the point where Kati actually chased Nguyen through their courtyard. The whole altercation ended in a fatal stabbing. Nguyen was dead. The so-called dream couple was completely shattered.
But it's what Katie did next that is it's truly disturbing. Right after attacking her husband, she went back inside, pulled out her phone, and literally posted a black and white selfie to her Facebook story. She was crying, wearing blood-splattered clothes, and she even picked out a sad, moody song to play in the background. Think about that for a second. In the immediate aftermath of taking a life, her very first instinct was digital deception. She was actively trying to frame herself as the victim in real time, just using her feed to build an alibi. It's wild.
But thankfully, the authorities saw right through all that digital smoke and mirrors. Katie's attempts to use her social media to literally rewrite reality failed completely. She was arrested, tried, and ultimately handed a 19-year prison sentence. That 19 years right there, that represents the heavy, real-world consequence of a life built on a lie. And it leaves behind a family that still to this day cannot fathom how their supposed dream was actually a living nightmare.
It is honestly wild how much can be hidden behind a single post, you know? A single geotag or just a really quick story update. We live in an era where the lines between the physical world and our digital footprint are totally blurry, and sometimes with fatal consequences. So I want to leave you with this question. Do you overshare on social media? Really think about your own digital habits for a second. Are you broadcasting your location to strangers? Are you implicitly trusting everything you see on a vlogger's channel? It's a lot to consider. If this explainer made you think twice about what you see online, definitely keep that critical eye sharp. I really hope you found this breakdown as fascinating as I did. Stay safe out there, protect your digital footprint, and I'll see you in the next explainer.